What's going on? It's had me a little gross fire. It's a bunch of old treated wood, man, so it's like super toxic. I gotta like sit like way back from it. Trying to get rid of some of this old wood. Now that pit ain't good for nothing but burning trash wood. I ain't cooking no more freaking hot dogs on that. But yeah, man, today I went through Flint, man. I ain't been out there in a while, man, like that much. But it was just like, man, it looks so fucking like dingy and ratchet and just like it's going to like hell in a handbasket. I mean, I really couldn't believe it. It was like, it's like it was bad before, but it's really bad all of a sudden. It like, there was, of course, panhandlers everywhere, but there's just trash everywhere. Freaking bandos, half burnt down freaking houses and trash heaps and tarped roofs, man. But there's this concept, it's called gentrification. It's also called redevelopment. And Flint is a college town now, so basically the theory is that what you do is foreigners move in, and they own all the, look, every liquor store is owned by either Arabs or people from India. Every gas station is Arabs or people from India. So they're the merchant kind of class, man. And then and then after the pandemic, a lot of small businesses took a hit because they were forced to shut down shop. And how do you pay your fucking rent on your building? So a lot of things went under, but I mean, a lot of things went under as it is. We're already probably down like 2/3 of the business in the Flint area. The greater Flint area has already been uh, either discarded, and it's at the point in such disrepair. It'd be easier just to tear the shit down and build something new, but that is the whole point of redevelopment and gentrification. So basically, they forcing all these impoverished people. Like, look, my cousin was just saying, like, they're moving all out of the city and they're getting more out here in the suburb type areas and different enclaves. Rent, of course, is more expensive out here because it's a nicer area. But see, what happens is when the riffraff has nowhere to go, the riffraff has to go somewhere. So it's either you move out of state, relocate, and just be like, F it. Or you gotta, seek out greener pastures, so to speak. Damn, that freaking toxic smoke is billowing towards me. But basically, it's another form of wealth redistribution. And I mean, since they've literally shut down the middle class, all industry has been subcontracted to overseas where they can make stuff for pennies on the dollar, and then they sell it here for dollars on the penny. And just, it's a monopoly. It's a trick, that they use with goods and services to basically make things. In a way, they employ communists to make industry because there it's authoritarian and life is cheap, and it's basically, it's just like the whole world's a plantation and kind of a feudal labor colony. And this is what happens when you do that. Your whole freaking city is just kind of dissolving, like, and it at first it was kind of slow, but now it's happening so rapid. It's crazy. I mean, how much in the past 4 years or so, how much things have changed. But if you don't think that that gentrification or redevelopment isn't real, well, it's going on here. And what the end goal is once all that stuff gets, that, look, every house, there was a meth explosion in it, or somebody went to sleep after they shot themselves up with heroin and their cigarette, fucking burnt the bed down, burnt the house down, they come back in, level it, and then start to build new condominiums, and then they can rent them out for top dollar. I mean, this isn't going to be like right away. This is going to be 10, 20 years down the road. This is going to be probably after globalism, once they go global. But I'm not even sure if they're even going to get to see the fruit, any fruit of that, because look, after the New World Order, it's like no one's going to own anything, and they're going to be happy. They're going to be like in China, where your apartment building, your dormitory is connected to your factory where you work, or you're forced to work, and you'll just cradle to grave slave, and they got to have suicide nets on the top of the building. I mean, but I can definitely see that going down, freaking basically something to that effect. But it's definitely really shocking and horrific. I mean, it really looks war torn. It's like, look, economic war. It's a bomb that goes off really slow. It only takes about 15, 20, 30 years till you start to see the effects. So if the effects look like this now, it was not that this just happened. No, it's been going on for a long time. They've just been doing it incrementalism. A little bit here, a little bit there, just a little bit, just subtle enough you won't notice it until after a lot of time goes by. You'll see, like, what the F is going on here? It's the same thing with inflation. It's like the other day I bought a package of meat. It wasn't no more expensive than it normally was, maybe a little bit, but if you looked at the ounces on it, there's less ounces of meat in the package. So it's the same kind of concept, incrementally, through, all right, same thing. Oh, if gas is going up, well, guess what else is going to go up? Fucking your utilities. And I mean, it's same thing. They're crashing the auto industry, because look, I knew just from watching the Super Bowl that they are going to force people to buy electric cars. And they act like, oh, you're saving the environment. But no, what it is, you're forcing people to switch over to a more expensive system, to a less, look, look, your stability will never be sustainable. Only it all benefits the corporations, the centralized economic planners, from cradle to grave, are kind of going to manipulate, incrementally snipe out little things at a time. But it's like they're hitting you. It's everything in the kitchen sink. It's coming in from all angles. It's like there's so many holes in our boat right now. You're running out of fingers and toes to stick in the holes. You know what I'm saying? And then the rest of the people, there's too many people and not enough buckets. And it wasn't that it just oh man, it's not that it's just by coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidence. It was done intentionally. And I mean, look, the information's out there. You can see who the players are who are involved in this sort of thing, and it's no secret. I mean, if you got the eyes to see and the ears to hear and read between the lines, their double speech. They're telling you straight out. I mean, some of them, it ain't even double speech. They're telling you straight out what they're going to do, because they're that emboldened, because look how far they've got with no pushback. You know what I'm saying? It's literally economic and moral ruin. It's demoralization. And we're already, I mean, we're already in the thick of it. But if you live out here, you ain't going to see it so much. But I mean, but the funny thing is, you go out to like the country, the suburbs, everywhere. There's nowhere you can go where you're not going to see a foreclosed bando, frickin' here and there. Even out, like, it's anywhere you go. It's just kind of like, so look, incrementally, because you don't see these rural areas in the boondocks every day, you would notice that look, it's even there. It's right in White Bread Town, right in the heartland of where they're, you know what I'm saying? So we're all feeling it. And, I mean, it's only right. It's like karma. If you look the other way while they're doing it to one group, well, somebody's going to look the other way when they're doing it to you, buddy. And, I don't know. United we stand, divided we fall. And that's what it is. That's kind of what, incrementally, we're all kind of enabling and in our own ways, our own destruction and enslavement. Because a lot of people, because hey, just because they ain't suffering, well, it ain't affected me. It is, though it is. It's just you're in cognitive dissonance about it, that you're not looking far enough into the future to see that your head's on the chopping block. Once they take us all out, well, they didn't create these systems of oppression and control to ever stop. There's always got to be somebody at the end of the head on the chopping block. There's always got to be the next, like it's like the lottery. You hit the lottery. Like back in the day, they used to have a lottery for sacrifice. But guess what? I bet the people behind the lottery for human sacrifices, I bet you their kids' names weren't even in the pot, but they pretended that they put their kids in the pot. And that's the same thing with the draft and shit. It's like, look, ain't no politician gonna go out there and send their kids off to no war. No, they're gonna send them off to some kind of formal training to be part of the elite managerial class or and rulership class. You know what I'm saying? And because in this world there is no in between. It's either super rich or nothing. I mean, that's what they're shooting for: total monopoly, total world conquest. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. That's absolutely what they're aiming for, and they're right out in your freaking face about it. They're right out in the open. I mean, like I said, just if you ain't feeling it like that, but either you're just really naive, really like self-absorbed and sheltered. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you could miss it. But yeah, man, that gentrification and redevelopment, man, is really in full swing right now here in Flint, Michigan.